think it's time for shots getting fired. Hello,
Pew, pew,
everyone.
pew.
Pew pew.
Oh, pew pew.
Yes, that was
Hey.
a subtle introduction. So this is a marathon about shooters, so we will start with a movie. I think that's pretty good. We will come to introduction soon, but since we have a few things to watch first, I will just start the run. I don't even know when it actually starts, so let's just say 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yay.
Yay! Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Cadarev. I will be running Shadow of the Tomb Raider, as you just saw. And yeah, enjoy. Hope you have your popcorn ready. Will be a while until we get to do something. But more importantly, I'm not alone. Thankfully, I don't think I could manage that. So with me, I have the expert when it comes to Tomb Raider. Hello, Hanky.
I thought movies, but sure, yeah. Hi, I'm Hanky. I'm gonna join this couch watching with Cadarev. So hope you guys will enjoy this.
Yes.
And I know that there's airwalking in this, so I'm very pleased already.
That's correct.
So this game gets a pass.
Well, thank you for calling this a game. I'm pretty sure soon you will reconsider that nomenclature.
Yeah, well, yeah, sorry. I said we were watching a movie. Yeah, joining in this movie watch thingy, stream, live.
Also, game already soft lock. No, it's don't worry, it's black screen. Oh, Square Enix.
Turn it off.
Oh no. Yeah, so this is the most recently released Tomb Raider game. It's the third one in the modern or most recent trilogy, the reboot trilogy. It's gotten some interesting reviews. Some people really love it, some don't love it. And you may be able to make your own opinion regarding the speedrun in the next 1 hour and change. Yeah, so this is now the 12th Tomb Raider game in the main series. And yeah, like before the trilogy, there was of course the first 5 games which are considered the classics, which were the ones with tank controls on the PS1 mainly. Of course, they're also on PC, but that's where they got better known, I guess. Then after that, we had a very interesting experimental experience with Angel of Darkness, I guess you could call it, which then put the series on hold for like a few years. Then they came back with the first reboot trilogy, and then after that we have this trilogy, which started in 2013 with Tomb Raider 2013. After that we had Rise of the Tomb Raider, and now we have, or most recently we had this. I think it came out in 2018, maybe-ish. I don't know. Maybe a bit earlier. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, we just had a plane ride. You could see there. It went really well. And now we're in a cave.
18, yeah.
And 18, okay, good. Thank you. Now we're in a cave, and it's also going really well. And that was the first input of gameplay in this marathon. Hope you enjoyed it, because now we just hold forward for a while. So, an interesting thing to say about this is, if you would do speedruns of this, or if you wanted to do attempts, you don't have to do any of this. So there is a community rule that says you can start from a basically predefined checkpoint, roughly 12 minutes in, 12 and a half minutes in. Just to avoid having to go through the first, I don't know how many minutes of cutscenes, and I don't know how many minutes of holding forward, and the occasional input for a QT or whatever. So yeah, this is basically a huge privilege to watch this, because you would not see this on a stream that would do attempts, of which there are none. So yeah, hope you enjoy that. Some actual gameplay now, so I actually get to move around for like 5 meters, and then I can climb for another 5 meters, and then soon there will be no more gameplay. So yeah, you can see in the reboot trilogy you have the climbing axe, which allows you to do some very realistic climbing. It's pretty
What do you mean? I do that every day.
Well, that doesn't make it... I mean, that's you. You're also not realistic. So.
Wow, what's that supposed to mean? I'm imaginary? Wow.
No, you're just too good to be human. That's all that's saying.
Wow.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that intense gameplay, because that was the most gameplay you will get for another 6 or 7 minutes. I already lost
Prepare for
count.
time. So what?
Exactly, that was the entire gameplay of this run. No, so we're right now the story plays in Mexico, in Cozumel, which is an island of Yucatan. So Lara is basically like the entire reboot trilogy is about Lara's battle against the Order of Trinity, which is kind of a paramilitary organization with, you know, world domination and whatnot in mind. And
So the usual, you would say.
yeah, exactly. Just normal stuff. Also, somewhere mixed in there is like finding out how her father died and her mother died and whatnot. But yeah, despite all the cutscenes, we actually will not get to see too much of that. Anyway, so this guy's Jonah. He's our friend. Technically, he's just originally, he was the cook or the chef on the expeditionary ship that we had in Tomb Raider 2013. But yeah, he's the only one who stuck around. So he's probably not that bright because of what Lara's been through. And basically, in the reboot trilogy, a good rule of thumb is whatever Lara touches gets destroyed. So as she will soon demonstrate.
No, don't touch Jonah.
Yes. So far she hasn't, so it's good.
He will just explode. No,
yes,
don't.
just crumble. But yeah, the astute may have noticed there's some kind of device planted on this platform that Laura's investigating right now. And yeah, it has some funny lights that might turn red soon. Oh oops. Good sign, I guess. The beeping is definitely also a good sign. And what you should definitely do when everything around you comes falling down is just stay in place and don't do anything. It's very good.
Damn paparazzis.
To be fair, there Jonah touched her, not the other way around, so that's why he's still alive. That's good. Also, this is more intense forward holding for 3 seconds, and finally we're in another cutscene. Good. So at this point, you may understand why there's a rule that allows us to start from a checkpoint further up ahead.
Weird question. Would anything happen if you actually don't move? If you just stand there?
I would be able to answer that if I would do this part in any of my runs, which I haven't.
Okay, fair enough.
I assume so. I don't know. I just think you have to hold forward. Yeah, as I said, I usually don't do that. But thanks for exposing my lack of knowledge. It's pretty good.
I mean, it would be hilarious if it's just shaking. Like, come on, Lara! I'm like, nope. I'm staying here. This is my cave now.
If I don't move, the cave doesn't see me, so it will not kill me.
So it won't crumble.
Exactly. If nobody's there to see it crumble, does the cave actually crumble? Anyways. Yeah, so now we're in the city, and some pretty nice atmosphere here. Basically, we're on the lookout for the leader of Trinity, Dr. Pedro Dominguez, and he's somewhere around here. So right now, we're basically trying to find him and very, very unsuspiciously follow him, which Lara's very good at.
Totally.
And also trying to evade all these innocent bystanders trying to bump into us. There, like that lady. Very well done.
Oh no, you touched her.
Yeah, reset. You touched her. Yeah, oh no.
No, I mean, she's
poor her,
yeah.
He's at the gate.
Oh look, it's Dominguez. That's oh, lucky us, we found him. And time. No. Yeah. So now they will very insuspiciously, right, like 2 meters away from the guys with the gun, will plot on how to get inside this this guarded area. So Jonah will do some very, very good negotiating there, and we will do some very good climbing off the side. Of course, in a cutscene, if we would have to do that in gameplay, that would be too intense. Yeah, and then it's more holding forward and slightly moving your mouse. So yeah, that's still Dominguez. And that's Lara, seeing that Jonah has messed up, so she should hurry up. And yes, this is still part of the gameplay, or well, lack of gameplay we could skip in normal attempts.
Jonah, I'm in.
Despite this actually being gameplay, I know. What a sin. Oh, it's my boy Strife
Oh
in
no.
chat.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. She actually did not touch the kid. I thought.
Well,
oh no,
now she touched the
the
GPU. Oh,
well,
no.
never mind.
Well, to be fair,
Explosion
as you will
incoming.
see later on, might actually come to fruition what I said, that whatever she touches gets destroyed, including those guys. I did not lie.
Oh no.
Oh, didn't touch them. Didn't touch them, they're fine, they're fine, they're fine.
For now.
Jonah, Dominguez is not just the leader of this cell. I think he's the leader of Trinity.
It's fine. I mean, there is literally no one around here that we could bump into, so all of these people are fine. There's literally nothing that could happen. Oh no, well, he's a gunner.
My fault.
Well,
Well, at least he apologized, so that's good.
he apologized, but he will still explode. It's fine.
Okay, we're getting somewhat close to actual gameplay.
Yay.
Don't want to hype up too much, but it's like 1 more minute or so.
Someone set off a trap at the first sight.
Also, they kind of noticed Laura now. The one person who followed them all around. Damn, how could they? So now we can't follow them, we have to kind of go to the side. Also, nice fireworks.
Yay. Pew
Jonah,
pew.
they might have noticed.
Shots
me.
fired.
Yeah, exactly. That might actually be the first official shots fired in this marathon. Damn.
Yay.
Didn't even get to
Starting
do
with
it
the fireworks.
myself. Ah.
Oh, it's fine. Stuff is already exploding and crumbling and,
Yeah.
you know.
Doing my best to avoid touching these guys so they can live a long life. But so far I had to only hold forward and move my mouse. Now they will actually throw me for a loop here and I have to hold to the right and not forward. It's
Oh no.
critical that I got that frame perfectly. And back to holding forward, okay. Well, do they count though? I don't know.
You didn't press F to pay respect to that guy.
Yeah, so for some reason F, which is actually your melee attack button, also allows you to talk to people. It's not
Punch him.
interact, but that's actually a theme in this game. The QTs are all kind of messed up. Anyways,
So you
so
punch someone and like, oops,
exactly. It's like Deus Ex basically. Just the other way around. In Deus Ex you punch people to avoid talking to them, and in this one you punch them to talk to them. Anyway, so this is the point where we actually would get to start new runs. Yeah, so here you can see a checkpoint in the lower left, and this is where we actually start.
Oh my god, we can jump.
Yes, we can jump, and cutscene. But this one we can actually skip, so... Yeah, so some in-game cutscenes you can actually skip. Just the long ones they apparently were really, really proud of, so those we can't skip. Anyway, so yeah, here you get the first tutorial about the melee attack. Yeah, so if you stealth up to enemies, your melee attack will actually insta-kill them, which is nice. Here we get the first actual shot fired. Can you believe it? Let's hope I hit. Oh no, I missed. Oh, damn it. Oh no. Yeah, so this one we miss intentionally. Is always a good excuse. No, we actually miss it because otherwise it would be a cutscene, and we don't want that. What we want to do instead is we want to clip out of bounds by basically lodging ourselves between a tree there and the wall and turning to the right while aiming. And now we want to get to the cave entrance. And we want to do that by basically jumping all the way down around this corner and hitting a loading trigger. Should be good. Yeah, okay. So as long as we get the prompt there, we know we got it. So now when it reloads, we're inside the cave. I have to reload here, otherwise the next area wouldn't load. That's all good. And after the cave entry here, we would have to do some swimming, some slow puzzle solving. What we'll do instead is some slow clipping, which is also cool.
This cave
So
looks
by
like its
swapping
usual
weapons
underwater.
and changing the camera angle, Lara should slowly clip up here. And by jumping forwards, we're now on the ceiling and can wall scramble around this corner. And we can skip all the stuff to the right, which is good. What do you mean marathon over? It's not shots hit, it's just shots fired. There's no reason to reset already. No false advertising here. Anyway, so we keep of our journey out of bounds. And we'll...
Oh no.
What was that random oh no about?
No, I thought you dropped into infinity,
Oh,
but then
no,
you
no,
could
no,
just
no.
swim.
Yeah, yeah.
So never mind.
For once, I actually did the right thing. Anyway, so there is a very unsuspicious trap there that we just jumped over. Here we can actually avoid a like flyby cutscene by not grabbing the ledge, but by kind of jumping around it, which is nice. Saves like, I don't know, 10 seconds. Definitely worth it. Just because the other outcome is you dying and losing a lot of time, so that was very smart of me. And what I will do next as a glitch is called a skywalk. It's a much more prominent glitch in Tomb Raider 2013, so the first game of this trilogy. In this game, it's only really employed twice, because we play this at 60 FPS. It kind of kills a lot of the like usability of the skywalk, since it's very FPS dependent. But here we can use it. So on certain slopes, yeah, not like that. On certain slopes, you can press backwards, and you will enter a very strange like state where Lara's flailing around her arms as if she were to fall down, but she just like basically stays in midair like that. And then by strafing and turning your camera around, you can start to slide along walls and sometimes even up walls like this.
That's an ancient Chinese technique. Don't worry about it.
Why does it have to be Chinese?
I don't know. It was the first thing which came up in my head.
Anyway, so here we want to go around this corner slowly so we can actually go up the slope. Any day now. Come on, Lara, you can do it. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, so now we drop the skywalk. We're not quite done with the skip yet. We still have to make it across there. Okay, good. So that was the scary part. Now we just want to basically clip on top of this tunnel. If we can go out here. This is the intended way. You just smash open this exit. But that would trigger a lot of like scripted events and stuff that we want to skip. So what we will do instead is try to clip on top of this ceiling. But the collision here is very like weird. Okay, that might work. Yes, okay.
What?
Oop, that's not where I want to go. Please go on top of the... Thank you. Okay, just a bit more, Lara. Yes, there we go. Okay, so yeah, you can see this is kind of weird because of all the things popping in and out. But yeah, this bypasses enemy triggers, so usually there would be enemies lurking here that we would have to take out slowly. Now we don't. There are some enemies here, so we will very craftily stealth around them by just rolling and them not noticing us, which makes sense, I guess. And there would also be an enemy encounter here, but thanks to us skipping, having to open the exit in the cave, that also doesn't trigger. So the only thing that stands in our way now is this gate that we can't really open except by aiming with a pistol and then just going through the gate, which is a pretty good alternative, I would say. So yeah, what happened in storyline is that Lara basically, in the tomb she was in, she technically stole this dagger, but we didn't because we skipped it, but we still have it somehow. So by stealing that dagger, basically Lara unleashed a series of cataclysmic events, and this is the first one, it's a tsunami. So yeah, basically everyone I touched earlier will die now, so what I said was true. Right? Right.
Oh no.
Hanky can confirm I said that, so that's good. So yeah, right now it's just basically leading into a diving tutorial. And trying to not get impaled by all these this rubble thing around.
Bloop bloop bloop. Oh, okay.
Not quite yet, but soon. You just have
no.
to grab this
Oh.
door, and now you can soon do your bloop bloop bloop. And 3, 2, 1.
Bloop bloop bloop.
Thank you.
Bloop bloop bloop. Bloop bloop. Bloop 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 bloop. Okay.
So yeah, now the whole story, allegedly, of this game centers around Lara's and Dominguez's race to both obtain the dagger and a ancient box, because the two of them combined can call upon a Peruvian god and help avoid the world from dying things. I don't know. I just do glitches and sometimes it works. Yeah, so another theme in this, Lara, can you like go through that? Yes, that's an opening, thank you. Another theme of this speedrun is checkpoint reloads, which is not that unique. But yeah, sometimes you trigger checkpoints just before some events, for example, like a short in-game cutscene or some dialogue, and by immediately reloading the checkpoint, you skip that second thing that usually takes a while. Also, reloading checkpoint, or reloading in general, underwater refills your entire air meter, which is invisible, but you basically avoid drowning that way, so that's why we mainly reloaded checkpoint underwater there. And now we just jump and hope the game recognizes our jump inputs, which so far it has graciously done. Sometimes it doesn't. Also, this is just everyday parkour for Hanky, I know, but
Daily training, nothing new. With fire boats and houses on fire
Yep.
and people shooting at you,
Mhm.
just for the extra adrenaline. So from a technical point, how hard is it to learn these tricks, like the clipping, for example?
So I had the advantage of having run the other two Tomb Raiders, like the other two reboot Tomb Raiders in the series before. Most of the tricks are not the same, but very similar. Like the engine is slightly altered, but like most of the knowledge is transferable. Also, I know, just as an in-between, we haven't had one in a while, so enjoy this 3-minute cutscene.
No.
But yeah, if you would start from scratch, usually it's the skywalks that are the most difficult to learn. Luckily for you, in this game, in this run, there are only 2 of them. But especially the first one I did also took me quite a long time to learn because of the limitations in this game, like running at 60 FPS and the engine being slightly different, making the skywalks also like a lot clunkier, I would say, compared to 2013. So like it's not super difficult, especially since gameplay-wise this is a rather short run. Like it's just that long because of the cutscenes we can't skip. So as long as you learn the skywalk and like the airwalks, which we will come to later, it's really not that difficult, I would say. And those, yeah, might take you like a few hours, but overall I wouldn't say it's like too difficult of a run. Also, if you remember, I know it's been a long time, but at the start of the run, well, run is, yeah, interesting word. But yeah, we started out with a plane crash, and yes, this is in fact that plane, so all of this was just a flashback. So now the 2 timelines will converge again.
Damn spoilers.
Yeah. But this time the flight will, the plane will land safely, trust me. Yeah.
The mural says there'll be more.
But
I see, so
on the
we're
other
altering
hand-
the timeline?
On the other hand, Lara basically is touching the airplane, so you know what that means.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Don't
Have
touch
some
Jonas.
Bad news. But yeah, talking about skywalks and the airwalks, so they are actually the reasons why for the any percent run we, or any of the glitched runs, we play on a down-patched version. So they actually patched out those glitches later on. So for the other 2 games, that's not necessary. So for 2013 and Rise, there were no patches that would like patch those out. But for this game, if you want to run them on PC, you would have to down-patch them. Anyway, so Lara and Jonah are kind of having a bit of beef because Jonah kind of doesn't like that, like, I don't know how many thousand people just died, and Lara thinks I have a puzzle to solve, and yeah, that's like kind of conflict of interest here. But yeah, I think what can like solve that beef is just a good old plane crash.
Miguel, is there anywhere
I
to
think
land?
she pretty clearly is touching the seat. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Let's go.
But yeah, what actually happened seriously. So the first cataclysmic event was the tsunami we just survived, and this is kind of the second one, which is a huge thunderstorm. So right now we're on our way to Peru. I mean, technically also hold tight. This might get bumpy. Yeah, I think he's a goner.
Oh no, Lara, why you touch people?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, Laura. I think that's a pretty accurate assessment of your situation.
Shit. Okay.
It's her catchphrase, okay. It's pretty original.
Gotta go to the toilet. Go.
Which way is the top?
Toilet.
Anyways, so yeah, that's that. So now we're in Peru. I think we had a pretty good landing. I'm not sure about the other two guys. So for now, our quest is to find our good friends Jonah and Miguel. Miguel, who we just met and was the pilot, and it's definitely a very integral part of the story. Oh, there. See, she even called out to him. That must mean he's important, and will definitely make another appearance. So yeah, since we just had this cutscene and we're kind of like refreshed, we now have some action by holding forward again.
Yay.
It's riveting gameplay. Thank you for the tutorial. Yes, see you. So in the reboot trilogy, you have the survival instincts, which is like this weird vision where like important objects are highlighted. And it's completely useless, so I just wasted a bit more of your time, but otherwise you would have just watched me walk forward, so it's just as big of a time waste. Anyways, so there was a puzzle that Laura, or a riddle she found about some Silver Crowned Mountain, and she very accurately pinpoints it to that exact mountain, which definitely is the only one with snow at the top. Like, there is no way it could be any other mountain. I think that's pretty good puzzle solving there. You can tell she's an archaeologist. Oh right, I can jump now. Yeah, cool. But you might notice we're kind of in a rough shape, and we also don't really have any equipment. And that's kind of not cool, because like the glitches we rely on also require us pretty much to have some sort of equipment, be it weapons or grappling hook and whatnot. So right now we kind of need to fix that. So the thing we will do now is first get back our bow. And to do that, we're now at the main crashing site. And we need to somehow get our equipment down from that net. And for that we want to cut it down. And for that we need something sharp. Luckily, this part of the propeller just happened to turn out to be pretty much knife-shaped, so that's good.
Damn it.
And bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. And we will have a visitor. Hello. So remember how F is the melee attack button, which with the knife? Yes, so accurately the QTE here requires you to press E, which is interact. So
Okay.
insanely difficult. Thank you for throwing me for a loop.
Hey, you got some experience.
Yes, very good, because we actually want to have one skill point when we go back to the campfire, where we can gain some, or learn some new skills. And we also want 3 pieces of salvage to actually upgrade our knife, because here we have to first try it, so the knife is dull right now.
I need to find something to sharpen it.
And we need to sharpen it, exactly, Laura. And for that we need the 3 pieces of salvage, so this is the 3rd one. Now we can go back to the camp. We will upgrade the knife and hopefully have enough experience to
I didn't know the storm would hit
also
so
get a
hard.
skill. And that skill will allow us, yes
I
we
should
do,
have listened to Jonah, thought it
that
through.
skill will allow us to roll
Maybe I should have
after
taken that
jumping.
dagger.
Which doesn't sound like too impressive, but that's on one hand the fastest way of movement, and it also helps with some other stuff later on.
Something's still holding the supplies up.
So now we have our sharpened knife, we can cut down equipment, and yeah, well, if we could get to the prompt again, Laura, yes.
Yes.
And we can get our bow back. That's good. So an interesting thing to say about this skill, so that's the roll after the jump. Right, this is not 2013, I have to use left mouse button for shooting, whatever. So the rolling after jumping in the first reboot game, so 2013, that was actually a very expensive skill, pretty deep into the skill tree.
Miguel?
But there was a way around that, and that way around that was to spend $1 for a DLC that allows you to get the skill right from the start. Literal speedrunning pay-to-win DLC. Probably they realized that I was pretty stupid, so for Rise and Shadow, that skill is pretty much the first one you get. So it's like just requires 1 skill point in both of those games. So yeah, that's probably the better solution.
But
Anyways,
putting more money on it.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm sure Square Enix is very happy with the $10 they made from speedrunners buying the skill for 2013. Yeah, so now we are kind of still looking for some kind of signs of survivors other than us, and we kind of got ambushed by a few kitty cats. Now we have to fight them. And you do that by first always evading one of their attacks, and then you kind of rapid fire at them, because if you release aim and re-aim, you basically avoid the reloading animation, which allows to fire rapidly. And if you shoot them before their first attack, it just doesn't register, so there's no point in attacking them first. Always have to wait out one of their attacks. Also, I'm like picking up some resources while waiting for them to come back down.
This fight reminds me of Proto.
Well, not Proto in chat. Proto in
No.
Angel of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a bit confused there because he just... What? What do
Just
they have
suddenly
in common?
disappearing.
Yeah, so in Angel of Darkness there is a very similar fight, I guess. And by very I mean not at all. Also, yeah, this was the end of the fight. You always get caught here. And then you do a cutscene and then you skip the interesting part. It's pretty good. So one of the resources I picked up during that fight were healing herbs. So 3 of those allow you to heal, and that is basically required here because it's kind of a tutorial. Since Lara was hurt, you have to use the healing herbs. And now she's back to
That's part of the wreckage.
normal mobility. And we can go ahead.
Wow, now you learn how to climb trees after you did it all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty useful. I always need to be reminded. Anyways, this also looks kind of like a plane coming down, so maybe Jonah's here. Let's see. Let's just not touch him. That would be bad. Oh, look, Jonah's here. So goodbye, Jonah. So what we kind of want to go back to where we just were, but there's no way the game really lets you do that normally. So we kind of have to take a bit of a risky jump here and make it. Okay, and now we
nice.
want to do an airwalk. So you want to angle yourself 90 degrees to a ledge and use your grappling hook. If you get the axe in the hand, that's a good sign, but it's not a guarantee. Okay, I got it.
Nice.
So yeah, if you basically throw your grappling axe and it hits the ground at the same time as you do, you can get the axe, basically like the animation of the axe staying in Lara's hand, as you can still see right now. That is an indicator that you might have gotten an airwalk, but it's not a guarantee. So sometimes you will get it and she will still just normally walk off the ledge and grab it. But if you do get an airwalk, you can get this. And this allows us to skip a huge chunk of the game, which is also why the lighting is kind of interesting here. So if you played this game, this is kind of close to the part where you would get a flashback segment where you play as young Lara climbing around Croft Manor. We don't get to do that, so that's cool. Yeah, this skips quite a large chunk of the game. And now we go back down. So by doing that, we also bypassed a lot of like triggers of enemies and events. So further up ahead, there would be an event where there is basically a truck parked in the middle of the street, and you and Jonah would have to crawl underneath it and stealth kill a lot of enemies. So the collision of the truck is still here somewhere. Yeah, there. But yeah, no one else here, so we can just ignore it and walk around it, which is good. And we make our way further inland, and soon we'll arrive at the village of Kuwakyaku, which kind of serves as the first bigger hub area. So this game has some, I wouldn't say RPG elements, but you know, upgrading systems, merchants and whatnot, collectibles that you can trade in. But this is kind of your first bigger hub area. Also, Jonah's back. Hello. You can teleport, I guess.
So I assume you don't really need any of the skills for the speedrun, or it's just basically unnecessary.
Correct. So for any percent at least, I only run any percent, so I wouldn't know for the rest. But yeah, all we really get is the rolling skill that I got at the first campfire, because we need to go to that campfire anyways. And because of how much benefit we get from the rolling, it's definitely worth it to get that skill. But other than that, we don't really need anything. There are some cool skills though, like if you play this casually, like there are a lot of interesting things you can do. But yeah, for the speedrun, there's no real need for that. And now we will make our way kind of like off route, so we would have to first investigate some ruins here and then do things that we will not do, because what we will do instead is kind of go to the end of this level, get a trigger there that basically tells the game that we completed everything, and then we will just go back. And for that we need to go out of bounds in a somewhat specific spot, which is where I'm heading right now, and I need to scratch my nose. Very integral part of the speed. Yeah, so...
I mean, as long as Lara is not touching it.
That's true, but she's touching quite a few things here, including those ruins, so you know what that means. Anyways, so we again go into aiming mode and slowly turn to the left. The camera will go a bit crazy here, and hopefully, yeah, then we can kind of jump out of bounds. It doesn't look like it right now, but once we go around here, you can soon kind of tell this is probably not where we're supposed to be. We can jump on top of this and run along it, and then jump onto this and over here. Then this part will disappear and this part will pop in. We can go over here, make our way over here, just take basically a leap of faith, hope we end up somewhere nice. That is definitely somewhere. I'm not sure if it's nice, but as long as we make it to this area, yeah, okay, we're good. You can tell because the severed arm there was just floating in midair. It's always a good sign. And now this is basically the part where we would end up after that entire quest line. We just need to hit the trigger. So basically we would come... Sorry?
Why was she walking so weirdly?
Oh, because she was in a swamp. Like,
oh, okay.
It's actually intended. So yeah, there was a trigger there. So now we will just go back. Yeah, it's a swamp that's right underneath me right now. Yeah, there she's walking like that again.
Okay.
And here you can see some people were attacked by something, and that's what Laura is talking about right now with Jonah and Abby, who was the person you very briefly saw in the cutscene when I arrived at Kuwak Yaku, and she has no real bearing on this speedrun, so just accept. And we make our way back that we just came. So there's another swamp here, which will make Laura walk slowly. But we can kind of jump out of it early on this side, or we could have if I would have aimed correctly. That is definitely a Hanky that you're hearing, yes. Or is it?
What? No, that's my daughter. What?
Ah, okay, sorry, my bad. And
worries,
then
okay.
finally we get another cutscene. But this one is not too bad, it's only like a minute or so. So these are the runes. Pretty good. And there are definitely no traps here. Like, why would there be runes with a trap? That would be ludicrous. Oh, look, a trap. But luckily we have Jonah here. He will make a very good effort to help us out. So he pulls on the spear twice, and then he announces that that's all he can do. And yeah, we're by ourselves. Thanks for the assist.
He did everything in his power.
Yep. Actually, they should have just have Lara touch the spear, not him.
Oh no, explosion.
It's like, now that I think about it. Wow. Also, I hope, like, if you're claustrophobic, this next part might be not to your liking, so you have been warned. Yeah, so we're just, like, kind of have to make our way through this, and you can see someone else also tried, and I think they were not quite as successful there. But this is another part where, once we get out of here, you can tell already our air is like running out, but by reloading the checkpoint we don't really have to go surface and take in some more air. We can just here reload checkpoint, make our way further through this water tunnel, and end up at the Trail of the Spider, I think. So this is actually probably the most like gameplay intense part of the run. Like there are actually, like from here on out, there aren't too many cutscenes that will interrupt us, that we can't skip. I hope at least. I haven't run this in a while. Anyways, so yeah, this is Trial of the Spider, which is just this cave with a jumping puzzle. So there's a plank on the left. If we would walk along it, there would be a flyby cutscene, and we masterfully skipped that by just swimming around it. Is that a glitch? I don't know. And
No, not
now
really.
we jump around. And here you're supposed to go down that way, but you might be able to skip that with some funky jumping and using your grappling hook to grapple to this ledge early. So this is where you would end up coming from the other way. So we don't have to go that way. It's pretty good. Saves like, I don't know, 15 seconds, which is very important in a marathon. Which ends us up at the Trial of the Eagle now. So this is like a bigger puzzle, as you might be able to tell. So that might take a while, but it might also not take a while, depending on how quickly I can get the skip for it. And that skip will be another airwalk, so Heinke is very happy.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Lara is staying to her true origin.
So once again, like angle yourself like 90%, yes, that's how angles are measured in percent, exactly. 90 degree to the ledge, and throw your grappling hook at a somewhat precise time, and hopefully you can get this to happen. So now we just basically want to gain some height to make it across to the next checkpoint. So I'm still in an airwalking state. You drop airwalking state by running into certain collision or jumping, and I want to avoid that, obviously. Like, it's fine to run on top of some collision. It's just if you bonk into collision basically while you're midair, you will usually drop the airwalk, and that's kind of not what you want. Ah, thank you, Wolfenstein. At least someone got the reference. That's amazing. Anyway, so this pool of water actually allows us to surface here, and by climbing out, we'll get a checkpoint here.
Ah,
And by reloading that
floating
checkpoint,
hair.
it's fine, don't worry about it. And by reloading checkpoint, everything else loads in as well. So we successfully skip the Trial of the Eagle. And now we make our way into this cave. Take note of everything that Lara touches here, so you know what will not be around later on. And what we also do here is actually we are approaching basically already the second hub area of the game, which will be the hidden village of Paititi. Obviously, like, you're supposed to linger around longer in the respective areas, but we just skip quite a lot of stuff. As I said, this is probably the most, like, uninterrupted gameplay you get. I say while in a cutscene, but
I made it through. I'm entering a cavern.
comparatively uninterrupted.
Jonah?
So yeah, here we just have to clear this tutorial. We just swing back and go back to this ledge, because that's a ledge we can get an airwalk from it. First I need to scratch my nose, because during an airwalk that's a bit annoying to do. Ah, what are these?
Part of the
slick-
strats.
Yes, it was part of the setup. So what you're obviously supposed to do is like swing around along these, I don't even know, grappling hook targets and go into that cave to the right, but we will go to the left, not into the cave. We will go into, yeah, I don't even know what this is.
You damn rebel.
Yes, break the system. So there is some collision I want to avoid here, so I'm trying to keep it to the right here, but I also need to hit a low trigger. I hope I hit it, so at some point there should be some stuff popping in here, yes, okay. And I want to basically land on this slope here. Good, and run along it. And then I want to basically run along this wall, yes. And run on top of this. Sprint again. Yeah, okay. And now we're in the hidden village of Paititi, which is pretty empty right now because, yeah, I don't think this was quite the intended way of entering the village, but who cares? Less people around means my PC gets less tax because it has to load less objects, right? Right. So as I said, this is like kind of the second hub area where, like, basically a base of operations, where you would also meet some important story characters, which we don't meet. What we will try to do instead is get an skywalk off this. Gain some height here, and then probably drop it. Yep. Wait, what? What was that? Anyways. That was just for demonstration purposes.
Oh, I see.
I did the exact same thing in my PB, so I just tried to replicate that. Next try. Maybe this time go around the going around the corner helps. That's crazy. Yeah, so now you want to slightly turn the camera until she pops up out of the skywalk. So now we're on top of this, so we want to infiltrate this castle basically. Because it's kind of like, to get access to this you would have to do quite a few like story quests that would lead you to other areas of the game, blah blah blah. We don't do that, we skip around it. And yeah, like in story you would have to like disguise yourself as one of the temple guardians basically to gain access to this. So you will soon see that the game kind of expects you to be in disguise, but yeah, will also be interesting to see what happens if you're not in disguise. And now we just make our way to the end of this part. So yeah, like here we skipped another huge chunk of the game. There is actually a skip for this as well, like what I'm doing right now, and the next few minutes. But it is a bit too finicky for me to do in a marathon, honestly. Because I haven't even done it in a run. So I don't think this would be the ideal circumstance to try it. And as soon as we're out of this temple, there will be a checkpoint that I can reload. And after reloading, I will be joined by Unuratu, right in front of me. So she's kind of the queen of the village, and there is a rebellion going on, centered around, you guessed it, Dominguez, who's like standing there at the top of the temple, having a ceremony. Very friendly ceremony, definitely no human sacrifices going on or anything like that. But yeah, as you can tell at this point, I'm supposed to be in disguise. Basically, you would have the same like outfit that Unuratu has, but we kind of don't. But luckily, like Lara is a master at social interaction, so she still just blends in perfectly with the surroundings, as you can tell. Like nobody notices that she's exactly. Guess who out of us two played Skyrim lately? Very good. Thank you, Hank.
Oh no. You're welcome, you're welcome.
But yeah, so there is a possibility to skip this as well, as I mentioned earlier, but that would also rob you of this amazing sight of Lara having perfect stealth, so I would not want to rob you of that. But yeah, this also requires some intense forward holding, so... oops, I think he's fine, he's just... I don't know, he's a doctor and he's helping that guy remove a tumor or something, I don't know. It's difficult. So, as I mentioned earlier, in the end, Lara and Dominguez, they have the same goal, basically, of obviously avoiding, or avoiding having the apocalypse destroy the world. It's just the means to that goal that are different, and as you can tell, Dominguez's plan is a bit more extreme. Then again, so is Lara's, because she just touches everything, and yeah, then the things don't exist anymore. But we make our way to this guarded door there. Luckily, since we're both in disguise, they will not stop us, so that's good. Yes, I'm trying to. Thank you, Nuratu. Okay, so here we are. Luckily, we also know the code phrase, despite never having picked it up anywhere.
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
Hello, stranger who's in combat gear. I will definitely let you through. Yes. And now Unuratu will tell us to basically climb this structure to the left while she waits here and observes the area. And Lara will agree and then totally go the opposite way. So, thanks Lara, always a friend. Because what we can do instead of going all the way there is we can go against this door and take out our bow and at some point hopefully also clip through, and thank you. And then, yeah, we don't have to do any of that. So what is supposed to happen there is you go up that structure, you retrieve something that I don't remember, and then Unuratu would get attacked and eventually
On my way.
not make it out quite as healthy. And yeah, big shocker. So now her son has to take over as king of the village, but we don't get to see that. Which, with the result that it seems like Lara, first of all, hasn't seen any of these characters that will soon approach her, and then she just starts lying about something that didn't take place. So yeah, Lara's basically a big liar.
I mean, she touched her, or
Did she though? I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, this is Etzli. They just met, and now she's telling him that that his mother died. It's a pretty good introduction. Yeah, so he's now the king of the village, and has to quell the rebellion. Also, yes, in case you're wondering, I can't skip this cutscene. Big shocker. Yeah, apparently she also saw how his mother fought bravely, and she's a warrior and everything, despite Lara clearly abandoning her and yeah, not caring about her.
I'll find the box. I won't let the cult of Cuckoo Khan get to it first.
Yeah, and her son's reaction is basically okay, which makes
me,
things
I'm the
easier.
leader now.
Yeah. Let me take over.
We will prepare for battle. The rebellion must succeed.
Let me take over, and I trust everything you said, despite us just meeting. So I mentioned earlier how the whole thing is centered around obtaining the dagger she initially stole and the silver box. Too bad right now we have neither of those, so that kind of puts us at a disadvantage. But we're determined to at least get one of these relics now. I'm sure everything will go well. Exactly, his mother's still watching the gate. Meanwhile, Lara's lying to her son about her dying and stuff. It's so cruel.
Just a normal day in the office.
Oh, you know what I just noticed? Lara's touching the boat.
Oh no! Why would you do that?
Oh no.
I mean, she touched the kid as well.
That is true.
All that for another riddle.
Well, I have a pretty bleak future in store for this boat.
The heart of the serpent is in the cup.
Catches
with
fire
the
in the water.
faces.
Well, there is some kind of fire involved.
Better than nothing.
I suppose.
But more importantly than fires, there are also shots involved that are getting fired. That's good. Further legitimizing this run being in this marathon, because so far, not too many shots have been fired, especially by us. We have been fired at a few times, so that's good, but yeah, now it definitely will qualify. Oh look, it's a friendly helicopter. That's good. Oops. Ah, thanks, Lara. Again, with the accurate assessment.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. I forgot my
we're-
part, I'm sorry.
Now we're at the riverbed, so this will lead into another stealth section. Always fun to have those. Especially with realistic stealth as in this game, where you just roll past enemies and them not noticing you usually. So there are like these indicators you can see on the border of the screen, which point towards enemies, and they slowly fill up with white color. If they are filled up with white color, they notice that something is there, but they haven't like noticed you, and then they will fill up with red color, and if the red color is also fully filled up, they spotted you. So you can see it turning slightly red now, but yeah, not the best at noticing me, I guess. So after bypassing these guys, we now come to this cliff to the left, and with our equipment we actually cannot make it up, so we have to find some kind of skip for it. Which luckily there is. And it combines both of the integral glitches, so we will first get a airwalk and then hopefully transition it into a skywalk. Luckily this is actually one of the airwalks where you can tell if you got it or not, because if you get it the camera will turn to the right by itself, and since it didn't there I just reloaded the checkpoint, because you start out at a pretty much perfect spot to get get an airwalk off this. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see now the camera turned to the right by itself. And now I have it. So now my goal is to get to this part where I can run up, then drop the airwalk and transition into a skywalk. I said you want to go up, Lara. No, the other up, not down. Yes, that looks more like up. Yes, that's good. Yes, okay. I dropped this the airwalk here and transition into a skywalk. I want to go up further here, then gain some momentum over here and swing around and hopefully make it to the top. Perfect. So now we're in the Porvenir oil fields. Sorry?
Fire.
Oh,
Explosion.
it's fine. I'm
Shot
sure
fired.
everything here is fine. It's just a normal, you know, camp here. Just people camping. It's fine. They're definitely not armed and looking for me. Oops, my hand slipped. Oh no. Oh well, he's a gunner.
God damn it, people,
I mean, you got some tasty experience points at least.
I thought you got some tasty meat, but yeah.
I guess so too. Okay. Fine, you convinced me.
So here's some more insane stealthing. And here we'll craft an explosive out of this oil canister and the cloths we picked up earlier, and then hopefully not get spotted. Okay, close to it, but no dice. And yes, that was very stealthy. Yes, they could not tell that something was happening.
You need to stealth this part?
You don't have to, but if you get spotted, you cannot escape here, so you have to kill all of them, which takes a long time. Can I? Okay, good. So now we go down into this cave. We get an automatic skill here that we will not use, which is pretty good. We want to go out of bounds on this statue here, but again, like at the start in the cave where we skip to the ceiling, this also has very weird collision, so it's very like finicky skip. So I'm releasing aim and re-aiming, which sometimes can clip you into things. And once I'm in there, I want to turn to the right and then jump through. So now I'm behind the statue. If I can get out of this tree branch, that would be nice. Okay. And now I'm clearly out of bounds, which is good because it allows me to skip stuff. But it's also not good because I will not get any checkpoints. And that's rough because things can happen out of bounds, like me falling into the void, especially on the next jump. So this jump is probably the trickiest in the run, because Lara will also turn invisible.
Oh no.
But that's not good. But I made it. Okay, good.
Nice.
Now, like, still no checkpoints in sight here, so I still need to be careful to not drop anywhere. So yeah, we are now infiltrating the oil rig here in hopes of destroying stuff. And since we're touching it, that's we have a pretty good shot at that. That's yeah, looking promising. So we want to go to the upper platform here. We do that by pulling out our weapon once we land on this, which holds all our momentum. And then we can jump up here. And jump over here. So the collision here is not in line with the textures, so sometimes we just fall through, and that would be rough, so I want to avoid that. Also, definitely doesn't help that there's all of this foliage and the leaves that block my view, but it's looking okay so far. And then I finally get to fire some shots again. Because so there's a kind of a, well, not a boss fight, but a fight in this arena down there. But we can hit these two explosives before we enter it, since we're already out of bounds. So that kind of skips part of the fight. The rest we can't do from outside, so we need to enter the arena here.
Base camp, this is Cardinal 2. Reinforcements on the ground.
So basically we need to blow 5 explosives. We had 3 so far. Ah. So there should be another one going out here. Yes. And now we just wait until this one gets exposed.
Come get some.
And that's that fight. So I hope I
Mayday,
yeah, improve the shots fired ratio. It's quite a few shots and explosions. And since that was way too exciting, luckily we transitioned right into another unskippable cutscene. So yeah, at least I think this counts as destroyed, right? So Lara touching the oil rig, yeah, that works out. Anki, can I get a confirmation on that? I think this is...
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
okay,
She
thank you.
touched more than just the oil rank, from what I saw.
Yeah, I think... yeah, this is pretty destroyed, yeah, I think that counts. But for
Ah,
some
fine.
reason, all of a sudden, she's not okay with that. She's, like, not happy. I don't get it. Like, so far it was all good, and now she's, like, distraught over this. It's so weird.
It's not hot enough for her.
But luckily, Jonah just pops up out of nowhere. It's so dumb.
What happened? Oh no!
Just from the ruins, Jonah rises.
Why are you here?
And that obviously makes Lara even more sad. Like, look at her. Oh no, it's Jonah. And she's actually really, like, pissed off at this, as she will soon show us. So get ready for some Shakespearean acting here.
You're not.
I just love how Jonah comes in, everything's on fire, she is like wounded and like, hey, are you okay?
Yes. And meltdown in 3, 2,
What's
1.
next?
Lara, take us away.
I don't know, Jonah!
Oh. So mad.
What was that clue? The heart of the serpent. Something.
The heart of the serpent is in the cup near the many stone faces.
So yeah, now they got some new riddle that may lead them to the silver box they're looking for, and with masterful deduction, Lara is able to pinpoint the exact location they need to go to. It's pretty good.
It's not mine.
He has a new
The
puzzle
clue
to
was
solve,
left
so
by a
everything's fine
17th
now.
century missionary, Andrea Lopez, a Jesuit. The serpent in the chalice
Jonah's
is a
got to be a
symbol of Saint
hallucination
John
right now.
when
I
looking
mean,
for
that
a
might explain
Christian
why he popped up all of
holy
a sudden. That
site.
is true.
Like a church of San
And
Juan.
why he has not been destroyed
It's a
yet,
pretty common name.
despite Lara touching him.
Could be dozens.
Not within tracking distance from Paititi.
I also love this line where she said, like, what would I do without you, right? Something like that. Let's see.
Come on. The road is this way. We'll get out of here.
Shut
and
up,
talk to some
Jonah.
people.
Ah, there we go, yeah. What would I do
Okay.
without you? And in the meantime, you see the camera panning out, everything on fire. Like, I'm pretty sure I know what you would do without Jonah. So.
Make a bigger fire, of course.
Alright, so that was a pretty long cutscene I couldn't skip. Would be too bad if there was another cutscene right after that I can't skip. Oh, look, it's another cutscene I can't skip. But actually, I can't skip it. It's just like 30 seconds in. So the game is kind of like teasing me, but then lulling me to sleep. But I know better. I know I can skip this at some point. So that is the mission they pinpointed the location of the silver box to, and now they
This is it. Church of San
have
Juan.
to ask around and gain access to it, except that Lara,
My friend Sarah's
being social as always, just turns around and goes the other way. So you guys have fun over there.
That would be great.
Goodbye. Because what we want to do instead is skip all of that stuff. All of those puzzles in the mission. Nah. We can go out of bounds. That sounds like a better solution. I mean, at least I hope I can go out of bounds. This is a bit finicky sometimes. Yes, also stellar camera work. Yes, okay. So here we can jump up here, which is out of bounds. Then there is some rocks over there that I would like to be able to see, but I can't because of all the foliage. Can you jump on top of the rocks though, Lara? That would be even better. Yes, there we go. Okay. So now we kind of skip everything in the mission itself. and go straight to the final area. First we have to have the area load in here, correct. Then we jump up here, and this is a very tricky jump because there is a ceiling right above us, and we don't want to drop down, but we want to land on this piece of the wall without falling down, and then we want to jump over here. Okay, that went very well. And now there's just an invisible wall, we have to jump over here. This would usually also be another like enemy encounter area with stealth or shooting, but now there aren't any enemies because we skipped stuff, and now we just snuggle up to the door with our gun and hope at some point it lets us through. Thank you. See, just have to ask nicely.
What a kind door.
Yeah, no, right?
I mean,
So-
I just love how many games have pistol clipping
Yeah,
through doors like that. It's
tradition.
Cardinal 6.
tradition at this
So
point.
yeah, now we actually do have a fight. We need to reload checkpoint here because we kind of skipped a few things. What are triggers? Okay, no shooting, excuse me. Here, take this. Oh,
Oh, explosion!
can you pick that up though? Thank you. Okay, craft another explosive. I'm not sure if that worked. It hits something. Which is more than it usually hits. Okay, that guy ran away. That's too bad. Yeah, sometimes he stays there, which is obviously more beneficial.
Where did that machine gun come from?
I'm in a chopper. I've got
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're well equipped. Also good lighting. And oh look, it's Jonah.
Oh no, but Jonah, don't touch it!
No!
Well,
Well, he's a goner. I don't think he's fine. No.
just crumbling to dust now.
But yeah, that's Dominguez. He has the silver box, so now he has both of the relics. Good job,
Jonah.
Laura. Very well done. And that's Abby, his soon-to-be official girlfriend, and currently unimportant character.
What were you thinking?
So they will both leave now, fully entrusting us with taking down a helicopter. I mean, sure, why not? Also, visual glitches are fun.
They might not get
So if you ever wondered what the like international signal for like distress call is, that is not SOS. You might find out in the next like 5 seconds because they will repeatedly say it out loud.
Pan.
Very good.
This is Cardinal 1. Engine stall.
So this is the third cataclysmic event. Now we have a landslide.
Attempting restart.
With lots of fun jumping that definitely always works just as intended, and there is no way to drop down. Cars disappearing. And,
Just the usual.
so this jump can be tricky. Okay. Note how everything she touches once again gets destroyed,
Rerouting control.
including the ground.
Oh no. Also, that thing has still electricity on, but you can just slide on it. Nice.
Sure. Okay, like 2 more jumps. This one you kind of can wait out a bit. If you jump too early here, sometimes this grappling hook doesn't work. Like, you want to touch to the target.
I love that the fires just popping out of nowhere. Like, okay.
Oh no, I fell down. Oh well.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm very happy I could convince you to the better counter. Never let Lara touch you. Or else it turns out like this.
Oh, now she's suddenly tired. Okay.
So I know what you're thinking. Hasn't there been an unskippable cutscene in a while? Well, do I have good news for
Oh
you?
no.
Because now we will have a... So basically they, return with kind of nothing, despite promising the village that they will get everything. But that's kind of bad, I
How
think.
much longer to pray TT?
I'm sure that will take a lot of convincing them to still trust them and work with them. I'm sure like Etzley and everyone will chew them out over it and have some stern talking to. They will definitely not just say sorry and everything is good.
It's
Where did Jonah appear suddenly?
Yeah, right.
always,
Yeah.
As far as I can
Mhm.
remember, it's always been.
Okay.
I could have had a family.
I'm starting to notice a theme here.
Everything could have been different.
Damn teleporter.
Yeah.
We will get the box, and we will stop Dominguez.
That's a good plan, Lara. It worked out very well so far. That was like your, what, third or fourth attempt of getting either the dagger or box from him, and worked out splendidly so far. Also, hello, weird man. We will just infiltrate your village again. Okay, time to explain our failure.
Your Highness,
Lara. Where's the box?
Amaru.
Where it's box?
But the death of the sun draws near.
We'll get it back.
Where's my money?
We'll get it before the ritual is completed. Oh, okay. That's good.
This will not be easy.
Alright, we're off the hook.
We'll have to adjust the plan. Please, take your time to prepare yourself.
Love how-
Take your time. Okay.
Exactly. So because of us, his mother died. The rebellion is like already took over. We lost both the dagger and the box. We failed to get it back, and he's like, "Oh, sure, I trust you. Take your time to prepare."
Better go and collect some herbs.
Yeah, but we will not take our time. We will
How is
just
the plan coming together?
talk to him again, and again press the melee button to talk to him.
Kukulkan's army will follow the Sakbe to the Great Stone Bridge to reach the pyramid.
So basically, now the question is: do they do a frontal assault,
We have
or
enough
do
strength to
they
intercept them, but
sneak up on them?
we could easily be overwhelmed.
With the brilliant solution of, we should do
None.
both. Yes, let's just call it.
But our timing would have to be
No, with the brilliant solution of everyone doing a frontal assault except for Lara, because
Can we do both?
that sounds brilliant.
If we approach head on, I can go around the other way and act as a sniper.
They'd be trapped.
Yes, they would be trapped by
No approach is
one
without risk,
sniper.
but I believe this is the best option.
Good. Then, on your order.
Gather the troops. Let's go.
Yes, this map is to scale. It's also like definitely author rectified and everything. This is
I love that the map is just like, okay, we go from here and you go
Yes.
from there, and it's like, okay.
This is where we part. Your path lies down.
also, if you ever wanted to have the rare occurrence of a game referencing like
Lara,
parts of its title in the game, now is your time.
I want you to have this. For luck.
You will definitely not mention anything about the shadow. It's pretty good. Also, still entrusting us with some important relics. Thank you.
We keep the sun, but you remove the shadow.
Ah, he said the thing.
Thank you.
I can't hear it, but it's fine.
Trust me, he said the thing. Now, Jonah says his thing, which is a bit weirder.
Oh no, she touched him again. Well, he's definitely gonna explode now.
Yeah. I mean, we don't get to see him from here on out, actually. So, might as well, right?
Hmm.
Bloop, 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 bloop. And that leads us to endgame. So
Oh
no
boy.
need to wake up yet, Matthew, but like, I would say 10 more minutes or something. I don't see what the timer is at, but I also don't know what I would estimate this, so I just say 10 minutes.
You want to know? I can tell you.
Sure.
1:13:50 something.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, just a bit of swimming. Again, we will reach a checkpoint soon. You're supposed to surface for air. We will surface for a checkpoint reload. Which I prefer.
Ah, yes, fire and water.
Yes, is there any problem with this?
Maybe, but I'll leave it.
Have you tried?
If you try, I mean, I can go and try it.
Yes, I'm sure your wife will not have any questions about you just having fire and then... It's all okay, honey. I'm just testing things for my speedrun.
Of science.
Anyways, so this is a ledge. You know what that means. Just some jumping exercise.
Yeah.
So yeah, our goal now is to get to the top of that temple structure you can see in the distance there. You're
Don't really hit
supposed
that
to...
helicopter, please.
That's the actual problem. That helicopter does have collision and it can drop
Shit.
you out of the airwalk. And I did not know of that until it happened to me. So now I know. And it will probably happen again because you can't really... As I said, you can't jump in an airwalk without dropping it. And like your mobility is rather limited. So if it happens, it happens. But I think I will not get... there we go. No, I think I'm good, yeah. Also... You may notice my weird camera movement here. So basically the game permanently tries to swing around to the left, like the camera to swing around to the left, and I'm trying to fight against that. So I'm not as drunk as you might think I am.
I just wanted to ask because I thought like maybe that's a strat, but
No.
alright.
What is a strat is me trying to gain some height here, but somehow I keep losing height. Lara? Oh, this is bad. Okay, there we go. Okay, never dropped that low. That's interesting. Then now we just try to find some spot where we can get some height here, because there is like a lot of invisible walls here. But that was pretty quick. Okay. Which allows us, once we're past that one, to gain a lot more height on this wall. Yes, get to higher grounds, Lara.
I think you need a horse to do it easier.
I wonder what kind of reference that is. So now we made it like to the halfway point. We are now like close to the temple, but at the bottom. Now we just need to get to the top. Only there was a mountain in the vicinity that we could use to gain all that height. Oh look, it's a mountain. That's helpful. That's pretty good.
Why not use the stairs?
Why not just have Jonah teleport there? Oh wait, we touched him. He's probably dead now. Okay, so here is also a lot of junk in the way that we want to kind of run around, but sometimes we can't, so just kind of hope everything works out. So far it's looking good. All of this makes sense, don't worry about it. And then there is only the final boss left, and there will actually be quite a few shots fired there. So at least at the final boss fight I can redeem myself. If I could get over this ledge, thank you. Okay, so now this is like the peak, and we have enough height to just walk all the way over there. Again, lighting is pretty messed up. We have some helicopters popping in and out. Have some trees without the trunk, and yeah, all good.
The usual.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. So here we have to destroy these 3 statues. So in the middle platform, usually there would be Dominguez, like being charged with the power of the god he has access to because of the relics, but he's not really there. And destroying these 3 statues would like remove the shield that is guarding him. But since he's not there, Lara just feels like destroying statues, I guess. I don't know. That is the third
Just
and
her
final
habit.
one. Yeah, exactly. Archaeology and stuff. Oh, look, there he is. And he's like,
Remaking
yeah,
the world.
in a weird state. Pretty red. I guess he was a bit too close to the sun.
Control of our destiny.
Nice dodge there. Going
Yeah,
on all
just
four
like
legs.
a bit lean to the left and just... Okay. So now it's just stabbing him 5 times after shooting him more times. Also there are some explosive barrels you can shoot. Pretty good because those deal quite a bit of damage. That's 1 stab.
Oh, he got touched, so we should be fine.
Yeah, I think as long as we just play this for time, he should die sooner or later. Also, Matthew, this is last warning to wake up. So you can actually attack him if he attacks you to interrupt his like big swinging attack, because that one knocks you down and loses quite a bit of time. But if you melee attack him first, he kind of like tries to wait you, which is pretty handy. That's not. I still have to reload. No. Yeah. Saw it pretty well there. He was like charging up and then decided to not charge up. So that's 3 stabs. Now we can check my reload. Better positioning. 2 more stabs. Matthew, get ready. And sometimes there's an explosive barrel there to the left. This time it wasn't. Oh well. Just gonna grab some ammo. He's having a lot of fun apparently. 4th stab. Matthew, definitely get ready now. Wait, where is this? I mean, now he will teleport, yes. Interesting. Actually, can I lure him into this? Yes. Oh, I'll set myself. Oh well. Where is he running? Okay, and time.
GG.
GG. So I hope you enjoyed this movie, this interactive movie. Yeah, Lara just killed him and now they are friends again. Like literally.
I'm sorry. Okay.
He's just like, yeah, you have to go on now. Please make everything right. Like, okay.
What?
Thank you that we had this discussion, but... yeah, I think she touched him earlier as well. But I think he's gone already, so... doesn't count.
I will.
But yeah, that was Shadow. First of all, thank you very much, Hanky, for joining. It definitely made it a lot more bearable, because as you can tell, there are a few cutscenes in this game, which kind of sucks, because the parts where there are no cutscenes, they're generally pretty fun to do. There are quite a few interesting skips and glitches to do. Just sucks that the cutscenes interrupt the flow of the run quite heavily. But if you still want to give it a go, if you have any other interest in Tomb Raider games, first of all, there is the Tomb Runner Discord you can access from any of the speedrun.com sites, or ask any of us. And we also have a few more Tomb Raider runs in this marathon, one of which will be done by Hanky. When is that, Hanky?
Oh no, I forgot it. When was it? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, like
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Central European. And I will have a Tomb Raider 2013 run on Sundays, similar time to what we had now. So again, if you want to see more skywalks and better skywalks, then you might be interested in that. And Jonah, and less cutscenes, then those 2 runs might be of interest to you. And in general, I would recommend to keep watching this marathon, because it is awesome, and so is everyone in chat and all of the runners. And of course, Matthew, who will now very graciously put us to intermission. So thanks for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.